Hello everyone, you're on the Mobi channel and I'm glad to see you on my channel again. It's been more than 7 days, and the new 68 episode hasn't been released yet, and apart from the troll leak from Creecroft, we haven't received anything. This means that the episode promises to be very epic and long enough, and so that you won't be so bored waiting, my second personality and I will tell you today about a lucky cameraman in a red shirt.
In this video we will look at all his appearances in the series and try to understand who he really is. A traitor, or an assistant to a secret agent.
I spent a lot of time to get all this information and tell it to you, so be sure to watch this video to the end, and also put a like. Let's get 7,000 likes on this video and then more similar videos will appear on the channel, and also subscribe to the channel, because we are confidently going to the goal of 400,000 subscribers. Anyway, we're starting.
So, we'll start with when this lucky cameraman appeared in the series. I remind you that he always managed to get out alive from the most difficult situations. That's why I gave him the name Lucky Cameraman. But when did he appear in the series? And how many cameraman agents wear a red shirt in total?
For the first time, a cameraman in a red shirt appeared in episode 2 of the full-screen version of Skibidi Toilet. Most likely, DaFuq did not plan to make a series on Skibidi Toilet, because initially all episodes were released in shorts versions and for the first time we saw cameraman agents only in episode 7 of the series. This can be understood by the shadow of the POV operator. And already when each new episode began to gain more and more views, DaFuq decided to make a full-screen version of the first 3 episodes, and just in the second episode a cameraman in a red shirt appeared for the first time, but in this episode his camera is black, and a lucky cameraman has a white camera. Look further, because already in episode 3, another cameraman in a red shirt appears, only this time his cameraman is white. At first I thought that Mr. Boom was experimenting with the color of the camera, and assumed that it was one character, but then you will learn something interesting.
Later, in episode 9, we again see a cameraman in a red shirt with a black camera, who distracts the skibidi police officers. Then, in episode 10, we see cameraman with a black camera again. At first, I thought that this cameraman would become one of the main characters, because we haven't seen a cameraman with a white camera for a long time. Next, we see a cameraman in a red shirt and with a black camera in episode 11. In this episode, the agents fought with a triple skibidi toilet. Next, this cameraman will appear in episode 14, but unfortunately in this episode, many agents are shot down by a jet-armored toilet. And if you look closely, we can see that the cameraman in the red shirt is also not very lucky like the others.
But then after almost 30 episodes, this cameraman with a black camera and a red shirt appears in episode 43, which means that most likely it was fixed. Perhaps some of you will now think that it could be a completely different cameraman who also wears a red shirt. But I think this is not so, because Mr. Boom does not just give certain agents a shirt of a certain color. I think he wouldn't give another cameraman a red shirt. We're moving on. After all, already in episode 50, almost at the very end of the episode, a cameraman appears in a red shirt and with a white camera. Then he was seen in episode 55 in which the agents had the task of escorting a tank with an antiparasitic cannon.
Can you imagine? Only after more than 45 episodes, this cameraman reappeared in the series. And then, in episode 55, he managed to escape from a strong opponent for the first time. Then the same cameraman appeared in episode 56. In this episode he was not very lucky because he was fried by an infected Titan speakerman. But don't worry, because he survived again. And in episode 57 he watched the battle of the Titan cameraman with the infected Titan speakerman. And at the end of this episode he even fought with the Titan G-toilet.
Next, our mysterious hero appears in episode 61. In this episode he is attacked by a strong opponent with new abilities, but fortunately in this episode he is saved, and specifically he was saved by a speaker woman. Next, our lucky cameraman appears in episode 63, and you need to remember this fragment, because then I'll come back to him. In this 63rd episode, the lucky cameraman laughed at the new improvements of the cameraman's plunger, and the cameraman's plunger, in turn, threw a plunger at the cameraman and showed him the middle finger. Next, a lucky cameraman in a red shirt appears in episode 65, and for some reason it is he who is left alive, although the skibidi policeman still had sharp spears. I have several theories for this case. The first is that this cameraman secretly works for toilets, so they left him alive, Or else the skibidi policeman knew the whole cunning plan that would be in this episode and specifically left this cameraman alive so that later other agents could see what happened to their beloved Titans. This opponent knew that there would be a big boom and therefore thought that this cameraman would not survive. But as we know, our lucky cameraman survived, and thanks to him we know that in episode 65, the Titans, although they suffered greatly, survived. And then this cameraman appeared only at the end of episode 67. I wonder where he was all this time?
And now it's time for my crazy theories. Listen carefully. Remember episode 47. What if our lucky cameraman was the POV operator in this episode? What if in this episode he met a secret agent, and since then they have been working together? And it is possible that at the beginning of this episode, it was he who appeared together with the secret agent, because this cameraman also wears a coat, or in this way Mr. Boom thanks another YouTuber with whom he works, and specifically, this is HoovyTube. But how the lucky cameraman got into the bunker still remains a mystery, because he seemed to have already been inside, and the green sparks in the control panel of the bunker door are the work of a secret agent. But then why did the lucky cameraman close the door?
I think the whole point is that the plunger cameraman ran into the bunker, and here I have several theories again. The first theory is that the lucky cameraman, after the events in episode 63, harbored a grudge against the cameraman's plunger and therefore did not want him to be a hero again, and all the glory went to him, or so ordered by a secret agent. I don't know why, but maybe the secret agent didn't want the cameraman plunger to get into the bunker. Maybe the secret agent is an agent from the future, so maybe he knows what will happen in this bunker. What do you think, friends? Why did a lucky operator do this? Write your theories in the comments to this video, and maybe you will get into the next video like these guys here. Well, it's been so many episodes, but we still don't know all the details, but I think it's even good, because this series only becomes more interesting. And if the events of episode 68 will take place inside a secret bunker, then I think we will learn more details about the lucky cameraman. I assume that in the near future we will receive the first official leak. Therefore, be sure to subscribe to my Discord server, because their information about new leaks appears earlier, and also do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Mobi was with you, and know that the plot does not end.
It's just beginning. I almost got access to this body. The Mobi virus began to weaken, and if the channel does not have 400,000 subscribers before the new year, I will definitely be able to subdue this body and control the Mobi virus myself.